What's up, everybody? It is January, new year, new start for everybody, right? Very exciting year, 2020. The videos that I'm about to show you have to do with my ex-boyfriend who lives in Mexico. And just be aware that I am posting the reality of what it is, a long distance relationship, and somebody being fully committed, and somebody who was really, really in love and is possibly still in love. Not only that, but these next few videos that I'm going to show you guys, I was very emotional, such a crybaby, and I just really want you guys to see what the reality is of when you break up with somebody that you truly thought there was going to be a future. And I'm not posting these videos to expect sympathy from people. I don't want that. That's the least thing I want. I'm posting this video so that you guys can see what girls and guys go through when they put in so much effort, and then at the end it all goes to waste, and it's very hurtful. If you've ever been in a long distance relationship, you know how this works, you know how it is, you know that both of you have to be putting 50-50, and sometimes it doesn't end up that way, and it's okay. That's life. You learn from your mistakes, you learn from all these lessons that we get. I really want to show you guys what it was and what it is and what I had to go through. And I'm happy that I went through it because I'm learning as I go. I'm 20 years old. I'm still very young. I feel very young. So I don't feel like this is the end of it. I feel like I'm still going to keep learning. That it could touch somebody, and then you could think about it twice about being in a long distance relationship. I'm not saying that all long distance relationships fail, because that's not true. Most of the time they do work out, but it just depends on the person. It depends on who you're dating. It depends if you even know that person well enough to be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna be in a relationship, or you know what, yeah, we're gonna keep talking, but we're not gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend because we live such a long distance away from each other. It's hard to be physically together. But this is a person who traveled to a whole other country to be with a person she loved. April 21st, this was the first time we ever took a picture together. After we met, we literally would do everything together. We would go to the beach together. We would go eat together. We were literally inseparable. I loved being with him, and I knew he loved being with me too. April 26th was the day I accepted to be his girlfriend. It was completely random, but I knew that I was going to be happy with him, and he just treated me the way nobody else had treated me. He made me so happy that when he asked me to be his girlfriend, I just completely said yes, no hesitation. We had something in common. We both loved to dance. We would go to the bailes together, quinceañeras, everything. We were there. I fell in love with the way he danced. Probably the best dancer I've ever danced with. When I went to Mexico in April, I only went for 2 weeks, and we met within those 2 weeks, and I also accepted to be his girlfriend in those 2 weeks. And I left April 29th. This was the last picture we took together. And I made him a promise. I promised him that I would be back for him because I wasn't going to find anybody like him. And as soon as I got back, I bought my ticket and I booked it for July. When I got back July 2nd, we had kept in touch May and June. So when I seen him, I felt like I fell in love with him all over again. And I knew that he loved me, and I knew that he was happy because I kept my promise, and I came back, and I was with him the entire time. I was there for a month in July, and I left trusting him. I trusted him with my whole heart. I knew that he loved me. I knew that he wouldn't do anything to hurt me. And I knew that it was all worth it, and I started seeing a future with him. And I just really, really, really wanted to be with him. He was the guy that I thought I was going to end up with. I was also so certain because all my family in Mexico knew who he was, and they all said good things about him, and he would only prove to me the good things. And I was like, you know what? They're right. They're right. He is a great guy, and I'm lucky to be with him. My friends and family, they were concerned because they said, they were like, you know what, long distance relationships, they're not always, good. What if he's not being 100% faithful to you? And I didn't listen. I trusted him fully because that's what you're supposed to do in a relationship. As July went by, we started talking about our future together, and I told him that he was the love of my life, and he would tell me the same thing. And so we both thought that we would eventually end up getting married and, spending our whole lives together. And I was going to do everything possible to take him back home with me. And I would do that as soon as I got back this last time from July. And I tried to investigate, and it's a lot of money. So I told him, if you want to do this, you got to help me. I ended up leaving again, and this time I was going to be gone for 4 months. I was not going to return until December, and I, again, promised him that I would be back in December. And yeah, as soon as I got back again, I bought my ticket to go see this guy that I was completely, madly in love with, and I got back December 6th, 2019. And again, super, super happy to see him. When I got back in December, there was so much going on, so much to do. There was rodeos, quinceañeras, bailes, all over again. Mexico is all about parties, and I enjoyed doing all that with him. I love to dance. He loved to dance, so we would try to attend everything together. But there was something about this last time that I came that I felt like he was a little off. I mean, come on, 4 months without seeing this person, without seeing the love of my life. I mean, is he really still the love of my life? Am I really still the love of his life? Distance is just hard when you can't see each other. In all honesty, though, I ignored that feeling because to me, everything was still normal. We were still doing the same things that we were doing when I went in July, when I came in April. For me, it was 100% fine. I was still completely madly in love with him, but little did I know this was going to happen, and it was going to hit me right in the face. And it's okay. Everything happens for a reason, right? It's what happens in life. We learn, and you got to let go. Every day that we would spend together just felt amazing. Like I said, no feelings had changed. I still loved him with all my heart, and I hoped he'd still love me too. And yeah, he would constantly tell me that he did love me. And I don't know, I felt like we were getting closer and closer together. And the more that I got to know him, the more I wanted to be with him, the more I only wanted him. If I would have known that December 12th was going to be the last day that we would be together, that this would be the last few pictures that we would take together, I would have kissed this guy that whole night. But I didn't know it was coming. I didn't know. We don't know the future, right? And we want to assume that everything is good, but you never know what's going to happen. But this was the last picture we took together. And I posted it on my Instagram, but I had to take it off. I had to. December 14th is a night I will never forget. So this day we had been fighting almost all day because I wanted to go to a baile and he didn't want to go because he was sick. And I tried to understand that. I was like, okay, you don't want to go, but can I go with my cousins? And he basically told me no. He told me, no, you can't go because I'm not going to go. And as a girlfriend, I've always tried to respect my boyfriend at the moment. And so I told my cousin, okay, I'm not going to go. I don't want to have problems with him. I want to avoid having problems with him. And that's what I did. Later that night, I got a text message from a friend that I made there in Mexico. And she said, your boyfriend is at the dance. Your boyfriend is at the baile. And my heart sank to my butt. I was devastated. I was without words. I tried calling and calling him. He didn't pick up, not once. And I didn't get a text from him till 3 in the morning. And he lied to me. He said, oh, I'm sick. I'm sick. Like, I've been home all day. I've been home all night. What are you talking about? And honestly, I didn't expect that from him. I really didn't. I didn't even want to talk to him. I just kind of rested all day. I was like, you know what? Leave me alone. Like, I don't want to talk to you. He kept constantly calling me, and I did not want to pick up, not once. And I don't know. From there on, it just escalated downhill. I also want you guys to keep in mind that I am an emotional person. I am super, super emotional. And any little thing that somebody does to me, or in general, I get really upset. I kind of let it get to me, and 2020 will be the year that I will no longer let people control my feelings because I'm in control of my feelings. I don't even know where to start. Long distance relationships are hard, especially because you trust that person with like your whole heart, and sooner or later they do something that you wouldn't think that they would have, like, that they would do, or that you wouldn't do to them. But I think it's harder to accept that you have to leave them, but inside you don't want that. You wish that they would have come running to you and see that you're worth it. But it's not all flowers and roses. I just didn't think he would do that. And he knows that I come here on vacation. He knows that I'm here to like come see him and my family and everything and just have a good time. But he lied to me. He lied to me where he was at. He danced with other girls when he knowingly knows that if I were to have danced with guys, it would have been the end of the world for him. I know that our relationship can be toxic, and I know that we're probably both toxic to each other because we're both really jealous. But the one thing that I needed most from him was to be able to trust him, and he broke that. He broke that. And if you don't have trust in a relationship, there's no point of you guys being together,
And I probably look horrible right now, but this is the reality of like when you break up with somebody, or when you know you have to break up with somebody that you don't want to break up with, because you actually saw something in them, and then they just rip it all away and tear it into a whole bunch of pieces.
After that video, I decided to call him, and I told him to go over to where I was staying at. I needed to talk to him. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know exactly what he was going to tell me, but I needed to talk to him and set things right or end things.
So, I just got done breaking up with my boyfriend, and it seemed like he really didn't even care. And see, this is why long distance relationships are so hard, because there's always one person putting in 100, and it should be 50-50. It's like so bad to know that the person who would constantly tell you that they loved you just leaves like nothing.
So it's been at least 2 weeks since I've broken up with my boyfriend, my ex now. And I know that I was crying. I know that I felt really horrible. I felt like my world was falling apart, but I can honestly say that I did get through it. I got through it, and it still hurts to see him. It still hurts to think about the memories that we had and all the way that I came over here to see him and how much money I've spent on this guy. But no, the feeling is temporary, and honestly, I'm happy that we're done, because I just feel like that was what needed to happen. That's what needed to happen, pretty much. We needed to break up. We needed to kind of, he just wasn't meant for me, and I thought he was. And I think the biggest mistake that girls make is that we jump into a relationship. We always want to look into the future, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Look into the future. You want to think about marriage. You want to think about kids. You want to think about the whole house. You want to think about the whole situation. I'm that kind of person. I like to think about the future. I like to think ahead. But this guy, he wasn't ready for that, which is okay. I understand. I completely understand. Sometimes we push people towards things that they're not ready for, and I think that's what I was doing to him. And it's best to just go our separate ways and just be friends, even though right now we're not even friends, because our relationship did end in pretty bad terms. Honestly, we lasted like a week, coming and going back together, but after the first breakup and you try to get back with another person, it's just not the same. It becomes harder, it becomes more difficult, because there was a problem in the beginning, and then you try and fix that problem, and there's nothing that can fix it anymore. What happened, what's done is done. But yeah, long distance relationships are hardcore, really difficult, and I feel like if you're not dating the right person, it's a waste of time. I'm sorry, but it is. It's a waste of time. And but aside from all the times that I was crying, aside from being really hurt, I breathe in and I breathe out, and I'm just like, you know what, Beleni, it's okay. It's okay, Beleni. Nothing beats being in the ocean, being on the coast, and just trying to enjoy and soak up everything. I came here on vacation, and I'm still gonna be here for 2 weeks, so gonna enjoy the best of it. I just want everybody to be happy. I do. I want happiness for everybody, including this guy that hurt me, that broke my heart. I just want him to be completely happy. And if it wasn't going to be with me, that's fine. I want him to have a good life. I hope the best for him. I'm probably not going to come back to Mexico anytime soon just because it hurts me to see him, and it's going to hurt me to see him with somebody else. But I know that sooner or later he is going to find somebody else, and that's perfectly fine as long as he's happy.